Back to Brother Sports Podcast presented by RambleOnSports.com. It is Friday, February 2nd. We are already a month down in 2024, and that shit has flown by. We do have a long February. We got the 29th this year. So, speaking of leap years, we do have a little bye week, a little Super Bowl bye week this week. We now have the Super Bowl set with the Niners and the Chiefs. So we'll get into the recaps of those games and early lines, things we like there. Little hoops, little bit of whatever else is going on this weekend. But as always, we got the dudes back. We got Sean, Max back as always. Fellas, how we doing?
Good, man. Yeah, happy Friday and ready to have a little chill weekend, but we still got some sports going on, so be good for betting.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, good to see you guys. Happy Friday as well. No NFL, but that means pay a little bit more attention to the other things we got here, whether it's basketball, professional, college level, a bunch of stuff going on, hockey, golf. So yeah, man, happy to be
Yeah.
with you guys.
Yeah. And this is always like I'm sure that the college hoops world plans it, but like this weekend is jam-packed with great ranked matchups and conference play for college hoops. And it's of course the one bye week. We've got Duke UNC,
Hmm.
so we'll definitely get into that game. But you do see a lot more of these good matchups this week. I don't know if it was planned or what, but good on you, college hoops, because you will be at the forefront this week, along with Pebble Beach, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So awesome. Well, let's just get into football then. I don't have the scores in front of me, but I think it's 17-10 Chiefs over the Ravens. Let's get into that one first. First game of the day. And I'll let you guys get into it, but just like, God damn it. Like, is Mahomes the new Brady when it comes to Mahomes plus money, anything small? We're just going to take him in the playoffs? Or what were your guys' kind of big takeaways from that game?
Sean, I know that was fun for you to watch, so I'll let you start.
So as someone who even like took the Ravens, I kind of had like round not quite halftime, just kind of made like the public out, kind of the group chats. It's like, you know what, like at this point, I'm retiring my bet. Like I don't, care at all. Like I just want to watch the Ravens, demise. And oh, I was loving the, undisciplined play, just the offense sputtering. But we're not here to talk about the Ravens' demise. They had a good season, terrible game, and the biggest, time for them to have a good game. So, something they have to worry about over the offseason. But yeah, my first takeaway was like deja vu. Whether it's literally just from last Super Bowl, where maybe I'm like, oh, why did I take the Eagles? And I'm sure I can go through countless other games where, I took the other team. And then you just sit there after the game and go, like, yeah, I mean, they're playing Patrick Mahomes. I mean, he was awesome. I mean, that very God, that the first touchdown, the back shoulder throw to Kelsey,
Yeah.
you, that's unstoppable. That's just like what as a football fan, like you
Yeah.
just love seeing that. I mean, from right the get go, like the 3-and-out the Ravens, followed by Chiefs taking the ball all the way down the field. It's like, yeah, but I think I know how this is gonna go. So, I mean, shout out to the Ravens defense, allowed what 0 points in the second half, just
Yeah.
really down. I thought Lamar made some really odd, questionable plays. He was staying like in the pocket too long.
Yeah.
Some
Yep.
whereas Mahomes on the other side, a lot. How many first downs did he pick up running the ball? Um,
Yep.
so
Yeah.
yeah, I mean yeah. From the betting perspective, it's time and time again. Kind of slap yourself before you take opposite of Patrick Mahomes.
Yep.
Yeah. I was gonna say that's pretty much my one takeaway is why would I bet against Patty? Um, and Aldi. I mean, their defense is super good too. Nothing like definitely can't take away from what they did to that offense. But yeah, I mean, it's Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, fucking Matt Nagy. I fucking swear if he gets a ring, old bastard.
How about that play by L'Jarius Sneed knocking the ball out
Dude, yeah,
right there at the goal line?
that's
I
the
mean,
game.
that's one of the plays of their season if
Yeah,
they win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
yeah, no, that literally definitely turned the whole thing around.
Yeah.
Big momentum. And the other thing, Sean, to your point with the third down pickups with Mahomes, like I can't how many times that I'm like sitting there third down. I'm like, okay, Ravens, you just stop them here and get the ball back. Like
Yep.
there's like 5 or 6 times, and then just a little scramble picks up 4, 6 yards, and you're just like, dude, like I'm frustrated just betting on the Ravens and watching this game. I can't imagine how deflating that was for that defense. It's like, dude, we every single time we get them to third down, and then they pick up a 2 yard screen to Kelsey that gets into 12 yards or a Mahomes scramble. And it's just like, I can't imagine how frustrated they were. It just felt like Kelsey and Mahomes were just on a completely another level compared to everyone else on the field.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Pacheco only had 68 yards, so they were stopping that run pretty well.
I think the Ravens, I mean, outgained the Chiefs by like 100 yards in the game too. Just Chiefs got what they needed done early, and then just grinded the game out there in the second half.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like the other thing too was I feel like a lot of people were getting pissed about the refs and some of the calls, but to be honest, like the only call that I felt was like probably shouldn't have called it was the taunting penalty, which kind of sucks because that was like it was, a little extra, but at the same time, dude, you're in the AFC Championship game. He was just you could tell he was just like amped up and just a little shove and kind of messing with them and baby flex. I mean, Zay Flowers isn't
Yeah.
like subdued, so it's just like a baby little flex. But that was like, the hit on Mahomes, probably fine with, got him with the helmet. Like there wasn't a lot of other calls where I was like, ooh,
Yeah.
that went the Chiefs' way.
I
And
was,
maybe
I was the other way. I actually didn't have a problem with, yeah, maybe a little biased. The taunting, like you can talk and shit, but you can't like spin the ball right on the guy. Like
yeah.
you know you're gonna get a flag there. There was that one where like it looked like, I think the refs called they got tripped up, but it did definitely look like likely got held on a play down in the red zone.
Yep.
That probably should have been a penalty, but no, I mean I didn't think it was like overly, two one way or the other.
No.
But
No,
I mean, yeah, I mean, just backbreaking when the Ravens need down like 10, so at least get a field goal and then enforcing that to triple coverage.
Oh, that was a terrible throw.
Yeah, that's I might smile and think about that plenty of times this offseason.
yeah. But I guess the one question is the NFL rigged? I mean,
Nope, not anymore. Not anymore. Now that
T
they
Swift to the Super Bowl.
D Swift to the Super Bowl, man. That's God. There's so
TV.
many, fans who have just been down in the dungeon with their team for years and years, and she just hops on the train and goes to Super Bowl in the first year. It's not fair.
But they fucking give her a ring too.
The cruel summer, man.
Oh,
Yeah.
you fucking dork. Uh well played.
That's a
Yeah,
song title, isn't it?
There we go.
that it is.
No.
I'm just trying to see. Oh, the other thing I was just kind of surprised about was just I know the Chiefs held him in check a decent bit, but I would have thought there would have been more rushing on the Ravens. And I guess you go down early and you kind of have to resort to the pass, but still, even when they weren't down as much, and I mean, to be frank, they weren't down more than 10.
That's all. Like it's not like they were down, 24-7 at any point in the game.
Yeah.
When they're down, like at max 10.
No, yeah. That was a
That was weird.
There's a
Like
Hey,
couple.
Gus Edwards got maybe 3 carries or something.
Yeah, it
yeah,
was-
3 carries. Zay had 2 and Justice Hill had
Hell?
3. Like he totally abandoned. I forgot their OC's name, but
Todd Munkin.
yeah, totally abandoned their gameplay for this whole season. It's
They
just
were the like number top
punch it
5
down
winning
their throat.
team this year.
Yeah, exactly. Like punch it down their throat. That's what got you there. Like I mean, we talk about like the Lions and how they lost from Dan Campbell doing the fourth, going for it on fourth, but that's how they got there too. Like this is how you get there. You gotta. I mean, it didn't work out for them, but or for the Lions, but still, like you just gotta keep going. You gotta do what you gotta do what you've been doing. And yeah, I mean, Lamar had 8 carries.
Yeah. What is it like? Take the girl that brought you there, or whatever the term is. Like, you got to just
I don't know.
something like that. Right?
The term is run the damn ball. Like
Yeah.
you're in the AFC Championship. Like what are you doing?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Ronnie Stanley there. You've been
Like
running.
yeah, you're trying to win a passing matchup between Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson. Like Lamar's going to win the MVP. Like hell of a year, but like
Yeah.
come on, dude, you're not going to beat Patrick Mahomes in a passing matchup.
Yeah. No. definitely not. So yeah, that was super weird. But yeah, it is what it is. Ravens will probably be back. If not, they'll get close next year. And yeah, be interesting.
Yep. I'm excited for the defensive matchup for the Super Bowl. For sure. And get to see Spags and I can't remember who the D coordinator is for the Niners, but
Steve Wilkes.
Wilkes. Okay, so that's great. Great defensive matchup.
That's Spags was in his bag.
He was in his bag. He was definitely in his bag. Calling it was like everything he was calling was just perfectly timed. So yeah. Congrats to KC. We'll get bored of them eventually, but I'm cool with watching. I like watching the Chiefs regardless of what.
Sam, I think we're in the
But, bro,
minority. I generally enjoy watching the Chiefs too. I know people, another few Super Bowls maybe would change our tune here, but like I generally really enjoy watching this team have success.
Agreed.
yeah, they're fun. It's good. I mean, yeah, it's
Yeah,
like
like a bunch of guys
the
you could root
finals.
for. I mean,
Yeah.
Mahomes is Mahomes. I mean, Kelsey's kind of a goofball, but like, it is what it is.
I don't like seeing him no matter what commercial but like every single commercial. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, this is crazy.
Yeah, how much,
But
how
dude,
much
their
money does
podcast is hilarious.
Experian have?
Yeah,
Oh, I know.
but yeah, I got nothing to hate on Kansas City. A
No.
little bit Matt Nagy, but um, yeah.
And you gotta love Andy Reid at the end of the day. Like,
Yeah.
he's the homie. He's just funny. Guy just loves football and cheeseburgers, and I couldn't agree with him more. So
Right.
he's
He
gonna
would
be
be interesting to like get a drink with because he has the persona, like, he's kind of the fat, goofy guy, likes burgers stuff. I'm sure he's brilliant. Like I imagine he's X's and O's, like as smart as they come. Just
Yeah.
look at how many wins he's got, but yeah.
No,
got,
definitely.
got ourselves a good matchup. Who now the Chiefs are gonna be playing the Niners. So let's pivot over to that. Niners was at 31-23. I think was the final score there. Niners pulling it out after a crazy, crazy comeback, coming back down. I think 20-7. I don't know if it got any worse than that. Maybe it got a little worse than that, but 20-7, right? Huh? 24-7? Was it 24?
21.
21-7. That's what it was. Yeah, so 21-7. Absolutely not random. I wouldn't even say random, but like perfectly timed comeback, paced it at a great level, squeaked it out. Any thoughts on Niners Lions?
No, you're right. It's 24.
24.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, just a all-time collapse. We're not used to it being the Lions that do that, but it happens. I mean, they had a fucking hell of a season, so not gonna hate on them at all, really. I mean, I've already said my thing about Dan Campbell. But yeah, it Niners are. I mean, McCaffrey. We saw it with the Packers. You just literally cannot stop him. There's nothing you can do to stop McCaffrey, and it's insane.
Yeah. Oh, and then you have Kittle and Ayuk.
Yeah, yeah. Say you want to double or triple team McCaffrey. Oh, yeah. Then there's Ayuk for a long ball. That fucking catch he had was wild.
Yeah. Well, and then you got Juwan Jennings who just picks up every long third down. It's like 3rd and 15. It's like, nope, not Kittle. Nope, not Ayuk. Nope, not McCaffrey. Juwan Jennings with an 18-yard one-handed grab. He's like, if they win, he's gonna do some David Tyree kind of shit. Like that's like exactly who he reminds me of right now. So
Probably the best blocking wide receiver there is.
yeah.
Yeah.
Juwan Jennings from?
Ooh.
Hmm.
I'm gonna just start with Pitt.
I already clicked on his name.
Okay.
Max, is it Rocky Top?
Yeah. Good old Rocky Top.
Woo!
Interesting. I had never heard of him at Tennessee. I wonder who he was there with, like who his QB was. He's probably like
26. So
I would bet he may have overlapped with the astronaut.
yeah, yeah, that's probably
Not
it.
only that, he caught the touchdown with a Hail Mary against Georgia.
Mm.
oh, weren't you at? That was when you were.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
I
this
was,
is
I
all,
think.
now we're full circle. Now we're full circle. I love it. Yeah.
But heartbreaking. The Lions played a good enough game to be in this Super Bowl in 2 Sundays from now. But I mean, a couple bad bounces, a couple. I know it's been on every talk show and podcast, so probably don't need to dig into it here. But did you guys have any issues with the fourth downs, whether it was going for it in the second half or not going for it in the first half? I think I generally am fine with all of the decisions. It almost goes back to kind of we were talking about with the anti kind of Ravens take, where it's like, dude, you got to do what you kind of do to got you here. Like, listen, it's not always going to work. But you don't kind of stray away from it. They're like, I don't know. I definitely was okay with the field goal at the end of the first half because I just thought kind of keeping that momentum, taking to a 3-score game. There's only a little bit of percent chance they're going to lose. Now I know that ended up happening, but like, damn, like God, that was so. God, that felt like I was like, this rocks. Like the Lions are crushing them.
Yeah, I know, dude. Like, only the Niners would be able to pull that off.
Yeah.
Like,
Luck from if it's not for a fumble, which isn't like a thing that happens all the time, and then that crazy whatever we're going to call the IU play, like they needed every bit of help to kind of get that to work. But also like, is Brock Purdy the greatest like social experiment of is he like really good or is he actually just kind of like a shit QB? Because there are like, I mean, they're still like even that Green Bay game. It's like this guy,
Yeah.
as a quarterback, and then like there will be some plays where just like and a lot of them are the kind of the backyard plays, like the Brett Favre stuff like that, running
Like
around.
good balls.
Yeah, and then you hit a guy right in stride, and you're like, that was like not everyone can do that.
Yeah, it is. It is so weird, but
He's literally like in the. You can't say like, oh, he actually is like not. You can't be kind of the Steven Ruiz and like kind of the QB rankings and be like, no, he's actually like 32nd or whatever. But you also can't watch a full game of him and be like, no, he's like an elite MVP type quarterback either.
Yep.
right.
Yeah.
He's great for this.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say like I think for me it's more like watching every talk show, everything I watch. It's just like I within at the same exact time I can throw on Fox Sports and ESPN, and you've got two defensive backs who played in the NFL who are saying the exact opposite thing. Like you'll see Ryan Clark and like Richard Sherman or some shit. You'll see them both saying completely opposite things, but at the exact same moment. It's crazy.
Watching the exact same person and have such opposite takes.
You know what it is? It's like the shit, what's it the white and gold or the blue and black
The
dress?
dress, yeah.
Yeah. It just depends on your perspective.
Dude, yes, Purdy's the dress. What color do you see?
Yeah, yeah. You see elite or
Like the Packers game, like I saw that stinky brown and whatever white dress, but last week kind of saw the blue dress.
Yeah, I mean, it is weird because I mean, obviously he has just a fucking arsenal of weapons. So it'd be interesting to see if they end up losing a guy or two just for whatever. But he is fifth in yards, third in tutties. I mean, only 11 interceptions. It's tied for 104, and then first in QBR. So, I mean, that is very solid.
if he wins the Super Bowl, does that impact anything MVP or is it definitely Lamar? It's still
Playing through regular,
No, I mean,
base
and
regular season.
in the way like it actually is, like the votes go in the day after the regular season. So, but I mean, it'll definitely confirm kind of those cool numbers that he had this year. Like, we probably have 4,000 yards.
Yeah.
Yeah, 42-80.
Like, cool season, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, if he ends up with the Super Bowl, then he's just gonna have it's just gonna be I mean, they're not gonna pay him regardless. Like when it comes time to pay Brock Purdy, I doubt they're gonna pay him. They're just gonna get like the next 7th round pick.
Think?
Reload. I don't know, man. The way San Fran's operating, like I could see them trading for like I mean, dude, you still got Sam Darnold back there. I mean, yeah, they could
He sees ghosts. I don't know if I don't know if you want him out there.
he saw ghosts. I don't know if he's still present and currently sees them, but we'll have to ask. Yeah, I don't know. I could see them skimping on that. I don't know. I mean, he's got what, 2 more years and then a fifth-year extension option. So won't have to worry about. I mean, by that point, quarterbacks will be getting $1 billion a year. So he'll be the first $1 billion quarterback.
Brock Purdy.
Yep. So I'm looking
Speaking
at.
of $1 million quarter, I have just on the background here the ATT Pro Am, and sometimes they'll kick over to the celebs, and Josh Allen's playing with Keith Mitchell, and it's absolutely pouring. But he just hit a very nice shot. Speaking of QBs that will make a lot of money,
Oh yeah.
that's going back to, and you kind of almost started, Sam, about the Mahomes kind of like you feel bad for some of the Josh Allens of the world and some of these AFC quarterbacks that will never get to have like on their football reference page, all the Super Bowls or AFC championships as long as they're in the same conference as Mahomes.
Yep. I mean, it's like,
Burrow might be the only guy that can do it.
Yeah.
yo, that is true too. Dude,
He can stay healthy.
I was gonna say I might put in my Bengals. I should have put my Bengals future in right before the Ravens game started, but dude, he's gonna come back and then Bengals are gonna go like 13-3 next year, and everyone's gonna be like, oh shit, yeah. Dude, they went like 9-7
Bro, come
out.
on.
Look at his
Bro,
show.
they gotta pay the piper this offseason. Like, if they're gonna keep T. Higgins, they can't pay anyone else. They don't keep T. Higgins. Like, it's just Jamar Chase.
Probably leaving.
I probably don't keep him. If it's everyone else or
No,
T,
they should just not keep him and just draft another good wide receiver in the second round. Like,
they probably will.
Yeah, like Rome.
Or no, you know who it's gonna be? It's gonna be Malik
I'm the
Neighbors.
second.
yeah. No, say that.
Malik Neighbors. Yeah.
Don't put that out in the atmosphere. Come on.
Yeah, I just did.
Who did you say?
Said Malik Neighbors.
Malik Neighbors. Well, Sam, get ready to face Caleb Williams and Roma Dunze because that's coming at you for the next 10 years.
Ooh.
I don't care.
We're gonna be so stacked. We're keeping Justin Fields.
You should. You fucking should. Who like?
No, we got.
Hey, speaking of, I know we'll have a lot like next week. I imagine we'll be just all Super Bowl breaking down everything. Anything just like way 10 days out, something that you're excited from a betting standpoint, or even not. Like anything that just you're interested in.
I think I'm at the point where I think I'm taking the Chiefs money line right now while it's still positive.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. I just
plus 102, I think, is right now.
So my big thing with the Niners is that they just start really slow. At least the last 6 weeks, probably honestly, this whole season they kind of have been slow starters. Like
they honestly probably shouldn't have won the last 2 games.
Yep, exactly. And so yeah, they're playing with house money a little bit, so I get that concept, but I just I'm like, I don't know, man. Like you saw how the Ravens were and they were only down like 10 to the Chiefs. Like I feel like the Chiefs, if they get up, it's gonna be over and they're just gonna like kind of milk the clock a little bit. I like their defense enough. So I think that's like the main thing I'm circling right now. Maybe getting KC money line plus 110, I think, last time I checked. So I might be locking that in before it gets down to like even money. What about you guys?
Totally agree. My initial, put in on the Chiefs. I think I just did like 2 or maybe 2.5, maybe when it first came out there. But I don't want to kind of get too much into it now because I'll probably do a lot of thinking on some bets. Over the week. But yeah, I mean the initial thought is of course just it would be ridiculous of me to not pick Patrick Mahomes, especially as an underdog again.
Yep.
Exactly. Yeah, I want to find a book that lets me pick the Gatorade color. That's all I want.
Gotta go back to like the old like betonline.ag type of thing.
I know. Like, why wouldn't DK do that? They could make so much money.
Oh yeah, I don't know. Maybe
I think just because like that's something that is so easy to be, I guess, a lack of a better word, like tainted. Not that you're tainting the Gator. Like it'd be so easy to get.
Like if it was on big
if
books,
like your
they
friend
might
was the worked on the sideline or something.
I mean, the equipment manager could make like 10x
Yeah,
his
well,
salary.
I think that's exactly right. Like
Right.
it's that people could literally like make a bet on something they have control over.
Right. That's fair.
Still though, I'm sure there's
Yeah, I don't know if any of those props like longest,
I
or
can't
money from like the national
remember.
that probably will never make it over to the standard, DraftKings FanDuels of the world.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's like a Virginia thing too. I feel like Virginia with the sports betting is like kind of like taking the more like standard approach, like even just like
It's more restrictive than some other states.
yeah, so like they're probably just like, yeah, we don't even want to fuck with that shit. I don't know.
I,
As
I
soon as
get it.
they get a prize picks notification, it's like Siri knows we're talking gamble. Um, was there anything else that you were looking at, Max? I'm kind of leaning under. I don't know if you guys have any.
Yeah.
I feel like
No.
47 is a lot, but I hate betting unders in Super Bowls. That seems like a fucking
Yeah. I just think this Chiefs team doesn't play in like an over 48 type of game.
yeah. That's kind
Yeah.
of
I like that. I was gonna mention that.
Their defense is too good, and like, dude, this isn't like Tyreek Hill. Like they're using no one outside of Rashi Rice, Travis Kelsey, and Pacheco. They don't trust like I haven't heard of Sky Moore in weeks. Like, they're
Well,
putting Tony like on,
yeah.
yeah, dude,
injuries and
Tony,
stuff.
they're
Like they
sitting
don't trust
Tony.
a single. They're running on star fumes only.
Yeah.
I mean, they're yeah, that was the Tony shit was hilarious. They're like just like nah. And he's like, I'm healthy. It's like, no, bro, you are clearly a detriment. Don't touch the grass. Don't even get over there. Like we don't even want you in the we don't
We'll
want you
still pay you. Just get out of here.
yeah.
Yeah, right. Like you're still getting paid, man.
Yeah.
You'll get your ring if we win. Don't worry.
What's his name? I was dude, that last play, I think it was third down to or whatever. I think it was third down to clinch the Chiefs Ravens game, that long ball to MVS. As soon as
Yeah.
he swung that
Yes.
was MVS, I was like, that is the I've seen this happen a million times with Aaron Rodgers, and I want to throw my phone. And then he catches it, and I'm like, you fucking cocksucker. Drop like 10 of those balls. I would have another Super Bowl ring on my finger. That motherfucker could have caught some of those passes in Green
Where's
Bay.
your first one? Yeah, see it?
Huh?
I see your first one.
Right here. They're both right here, motherfucker. Um, yeah, but no, I don't know. I just don't 47 and a half is just a lot. And the Niners have been giving up a lot of points, but I don't know. I just don't know.
No, I love that under. Absolutely. Two great defenses.
I mean,
We see the Niners can put up points, but Lions defense ain't great. So
Lions defense has been getting gashed for the most part.
yeah,
Last
that'll
couple. Love it. Well, I mean, it's going to be pretty much exclusively. I think that's all we're going to have time for next week. Is Super Bowl picks. So we'll get into the goofy props. We'll get into player props. We'll get into our touchdown parlay, which did we hit last week?
we didn't fucking write anything down. I was trying to find it,
I
but
think I don't think we ended up doing a touchdown.
Shoot, I don't have my.
oh wait, no, it didn't. I'm pretty sure I took it.
Because it was.
I don't know if Gibbs ended up scoring. Oh no, he did.
If Gibbs scored. It was damn, where am I?
Well, we had Gibbs.
One. It didn't win. I need to go to losses.
Yeah, because we had Gibbs, White, and Cook 2 weeks ago, and I don't think Cook scored. And then this week we had like Kelsey, I think was one, wasn't?
No,
Mm.
bro, where the fuck is it? Maybe
Yeah.
I take it.
Shoot, maybe I don't remember. Now I don't remember. I feel like it was like
I definitely.
I don't know. We will have a parlay touchdown, but we will probably call it a round robin, right? Like so at least 2 of 3 of our will hit. I don't know. If we're gonna like the under, we probably shouldn't have a 3 touchdown parlay, but fuck it. We can each do it. We'll just do it. We'll do a face off.
Oh, it was nope. Never mind. That was the division or the wild card. Yeah, I didn't take it. Sorry. Yeah.
I didn't know if we did or not. Alrighty. Well, that's football. We still do have maybe I guess we could talk a little more football, non-Super Bowl related. Got some coaching changes here. Got some head coaching changes. I don't know, probably easier. Anything that is surprising or you're excited about, whether it be head coach, OC, DC for our local teams. I think each of us picked up a new coordinator or two, and then a lot of head coaches. So I'll kind of open the floor. Anyone have anything they're excited about?
Oh, I was gonna go not excited or just kind of confused. And it's the most recent and Dan Quinn going to Washington. I I don't know why they wouldn't try to get like Braves or I know like Belichick was a big one, just like how he loves history and like all this stuff. But going out for Dan Quinn, saw what he did in Atlanta. His defense kind of folded in Dallas. So I don't weird decision is what I think. I don't know.
I respect that. I'm gonna zig a little bit to your zag here, Max. I only because I think there will be overwhelming, especially in our kind of community where we know a lot of Commanders fans and stuff like that. Um, I don't hate the hire. Now, we also are thinking of this relative to like 2 weeks ago when the Ben Johnsons of the world and Mike McDonald's or Slowicks were still kind of out there possibilities. So it probably hurts a little bit after the fact you feel like you got turned down to the dance there. But I mean, this guy became, the premier like defensive coordinator after his Legion of Boom teams, in Seattle. He goes to be a head coach, a pretty successful head coach. Yeah, we all know what happens in the Super Bowl, but like doesn't take away him getting to the Super Bowl. Then he goes back to being a coordinator, and this year was a little bit tough after um, the cornerback Diggs went down, but like last year, I think they were like the number one or two overall defense. As a guy who roots for a team that like very different than like Sam's team, like where my head coach and a little bit maybe Max to yours, like is more like the head coach is like the leader of men, like rah guy, and then like the coordinators are more the math. Now I know we're going to where you really the nerds want like your head coach to be the offensive guy so that he doesn't get plucked essentially. But I don't hate having the head coach be, the just guys who can get 20-year-olds who are getting paid a lot of money to all buy in. And then if he can hire smart coordinators, and especially on offense, and he sounds like a guy who's probably not going to like try to fuck around with the offense, be like, hey man, this isn't like just go hire someone smart. Now, so all I'm saying is like I think it could be a good hire if then they get a good OC. Like now if he brings over one of his buddies or something, then like that all could go to shit. But I at least think like I mean, it's definitely an upgrade from the puppet Ron Rivera that they had on the sideline.
Yeah, no, that's totally fair. Definitely.
Isn't Bieniemy the OC there?
I mean, yeah, he is the acting OC, but sometimes when you get a new coach, they clear stuff out.
There.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. It was a little underwhelming this year with Bieniemy. I thought. I know they were playing pretty much a rookie or second year QB, but maybe I mean, look at Nagy. Maybe it's just the Pat Mahomes offense runs itself, no matter who is who's there.
Right.
Yeah, I hope they don't just go like crazy and like do something stupid like trade up to I mean, for Max's sake and the Bears' sake, I hope they do, but I hope the Commanders don't just like trade the house and like go from 2-1, instead of, what they did for RG3, but then they go get someone who might not be the guy and all of a sudden they just expensed all that capital in the draft. But yeah, I don't know, man. I'm not a huge fan of
Caleb, if we give it to him,
I mean, yeah, then you're just at 2 and you don't give a shit. I mean, y'all are chilling. Yeah.
I want Marvin. I want
They,
Marvin.
they trade up. They're definitely not getting Marvin. That'd be fucking hilarious. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
That would be
It's like what if they did? They was like, fuck you. And we're like, shit, who wants to?
yeah, exactly. Just trade down.
Rome.
Yeah. I would capital while you can. I like that. I thought were you about to say something?
No,
Um,
I keep bringing up the Bears. I gotta stop doing that.
let me mostly on like not the wildest head coach kind of window, but how about our, dude wins a national championship and then skirts out to LA back where he played, Mr. Jim Harbaugh. What do we think
Yeah.
about that? Be excited? Why not?
Love that.
Yeah.
Love that, man. I mean, that's a strip away everything like where because it's hard to do, like the Chargers are the Chargers. That's a it's a good roster with a good QB under, who will be there for a while. Um, and get like a coach like Harbaugh in there, man. Like, and that's like, he won't. That's not a guy who's gonna get distracted by being the Chargers or hearing like the aura of failure and stuff around there. I think they get things turned around pretty quick. And he, his whole. I was talking with our friend Ryan Peavy about this. Shout out Peavy's listening the other day. A huge Michigan fan went to the national championship, and like for the last few years, there was just this awesome elevator between Michigan and the Ravens where they would just send over like kind of like they were almost like the minor leagues where the guys do well at Michigan, the coaches, and then they get hired off at Michigan, a la like Mike McDonald. And then the nice thing is he was able to not only did he bring Minter, his DC at Michigan with him, but then he goes and pulls like the Ravens like personnel, like a guy who inside the Ravens sounded like pretty upset to lose now as their GM. Quite just the yeah. And so it's kind of funny the triangle now of all like these Chargers, Michigan, and Ravens personnel.
Like, hey, if you're not going to use them, I will.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like, listen, I can give him a raise and a promotion.
Yeah, right, right. I can see him just being like, all right, guys, like failure, you know, like that happens. I've seen it. I've seen it. We're going. We're just going. He's just gonna flip that whole like
Yeah,
mentality around over there. Like
yeah.
he's gonna embrace that whole thing. He's gonna, yeah, I'm
I
excited.
think people will buy it, even though he's a little goofy and stuff like that. But like those guys have underachieved for 3 or 4 straight years. Like I think they're going to look and be respect, a guy who just won a national championship and who has gone to a Super Bowl in this league already. I think he'll
Exactly.
command that pretty quickly.
Yep. Yep. I really like that. Let's see. Kind of, I guess, the other like bigger name, I guess I would say, aside from these guys, Raheem Morris. I think he was D coordinator at the Rams. He's definitely been around the NFL for a good bit, but head coach of Atlanta. I think that's a decent little hire. I sounded like they were going either Belichick or Harbaugh for a bit, so I was a little surprised that they went Raheem Morris, but I like the hire too. They just need to figure out what their offensive shit is. I mean, they got Ritter. I mean, you got Bijan, you got Drake
What
London,
do
you
you
got Kyle
I think it's
Pitts,
just
you got
circle
weapons.
the
You just need
quarterback
a
position.
quarterback. Yeah, you got to figure
Do
that
they?
shit. So hopefully they bring in a QB. That was kind of like along the same lines of what you were saying about Dan Quinn. It's like
Yeah, I feel like the Falcons and Steelers are unfortunately in similar positions where you're like, damn, man, like this is a team that could, probably ready to go, but you can't win in the NFL without a good starting quarterback.
Yep.
Yeah. They're they're gonna draft like JJ McCarthy.
I know, right? And just stay in that consistent cycle of like never have like a top 5 pick to get one of these guys, but
Yeah.
because of that, we'll never have like a pick 30 because they're not getting, doing that well.
Yep.
What do you think of the Panthers hiring the hot guy from the Bucks?
Yeah, Canales. I don't
Yeah.
know, dude. I've been hearing more like weird shit about him, like with his
Weird
wife.
shit.
Like, I don't know, like what was it? It was, I forget who it was. They were talking about how he wrote a book about like him and his wife wrote a book or something about his infidelity and how they overcame the marriage. Like kind of like an
I had
Orlando.
to look this up.
Yeah, confirm that, yeah, for me.
Yeah, let me bring that up.
Yeah,
Uh,
You know how Orlovsky.
Marriage, the question that changed everything. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm
Infidelity,
not sure
binge
about shit.
drinking, and addiction to pornography.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh
Listen,
my God.
the guy's a stud. He's a model.
I'm saying, I'm like, bro,
Yeah.
keep that shit to yourself.
And really, so he's been the Geno and Baker whisperer. So if I'm the Panthers, like put Bryce Young back on the bench, make Andy Dalton great again.
Oh, hey,
Oh, Rocket.
yeah, or Rocket, yeah. Red Rocket, Red Rifle, it's all the same.
Yeah, they're the same. Well, to some.
So he no longer has issues with infidelity or pornography, and he has stopped drinking completely.
Good for you, Canal. Yeah, I mean,
Hey, stop drinking, you get to be a head coach of the NFL.
Carolina needs a lot more than just Canales there, but yeah, sure. Let him give it a go and then probably get fired in a couple years because they'll still fucking stink. They won't have any talent. They'll keep doing dumb trades. And that's like, I mean, dude, Carolina's had a couple good years, but like, I don't know, man. They just never get over like that hump. They had the Cam Newton year and then the what, like 2003 when they had Delhomme, Deshaun Foster, Stephen Davis, Muhammad, and all those guys. Like, they've had like two really good years. And then the year they went like 15-2 with Cam or whatever it was, 15-1.
Yeah.
Like,
I just
no.
remember having a what was it, Chris Winky
Yeah, Chris.
action figure.
Yeah,
We don't know why we had his action figure, but we had it.
we had all of them, man. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that one. Even like I kind of feel, I'd say I feel the same way about the Canales one as I do the Brian Callahan to Tennessee and the Ravens D coordinator to Seattle. Like, I mean, I like the Ravens D coordinator to Seattle idea, but I mean, I don't know. It's just like I don't know enough about these guys to really have a strong opinion, and they're all kind of all the three teams are in like this weird little like kind of limbo where they're just like Tennessee's like solid, but they're not. I don't know. They just like didn't embrace Vrabel's identity and like what he. I mean, they did, but it just wasn't really working out, I guess.
I like
And
can't physically see Tennessee ever being like a just like a great team.
yeah, especially like
Come
on
on, like I just can't I can't picture it. I can't picture them being like a Chiefs.
Yeah.
So that's what change your identity. I know
yeah,
some of
yeah, I
the
guess
guys
yeah,
say, like, oh,
yeah.
you're the Titans, like switch it up. Show me
Bro,
like
Nashville,
drop 40 points on someone. Like change my mind.
yeah, you're Nashville, big, like nice, exciting city. Like, come on, make exciting
Yeah.
football.
Like Preds at least have gotten to a final in the last, decade.
Yep, yeah. Preds, yeah, be down. Yeah, Preds games would be fun. Yeah. Yeah, that's about it though I have for head coaches. I mean, any opinions on Mr. Arthur Smith, Mr. Rosencrantz?
Yeah. I'm going to I'm going to be glass half full. Although my glass needs to be more full. I speaking of fucking Tennessee, how did I end up back here? If nothing else, they were pretty good on offense. Not great, pretty good on offense in 2019 and 2020. Remember that 2020 team was the number one seed, or maybe it was the year. No, 2019. I think they knocked off Lamar in the playoffs. In 2020, I think they were the number one seed that lost to Joe Burrow. There. Either way, Tannehill threw like 50 something touchdowns across those 2 years. I mean, that was full tractor Cito season. So it seems like, and because I'm gonna strip away like the Falcon stuff was bad. It was real bad. But I'm gonna hope that just being a head coach, there's so many other things that go around. Like just get back to being the offense. I mean, the thing this team does best is running the ball. Really, especially like we're like the fifth best rushing team, like the second half of the season here. You got two pretty good running backs to work with. They're not going anywhere there. The issue then is, I mean, it's quarterback, man. Like, I'm not sitting here going to even be, picking favorites or anything. I just want a fucking quarterback who can actually give this team a chance to win in the playoffs. And I'm not going to know who that is until, a long time from now. If it's Kenny, that's awesome. If it's not Kenny, like I'm okay. Like it's okay. It's sunk cost. We can move on here. Maybe it's bringing in a free agent. I don't know. But I know your question is about Arthur Smith, and I think there's some good jokes to be written there. But I'm actually like I'm cool with the hire. Yeah,
Are you guys thinking like you think maybe in April they might be looking at a QB?
dude, I was just going through like the Ringer, Danny Kelly, who does like their um mock draft there. He had the Steelers picking Michael Penix Jr. in the first round. Now, I think there's a less than a 1% chance that that happens just because I think there's bigger needs than quarterback to spend a first round talent on. But yeah, I think there's, again, probably less than a 1% chance that they don't at least draft a quarterback through those 7 rounds.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
I think they could look in free agency too.
Yeah.
I have to look at the list, but yeah,
Waiting for you to say Justin Fields.
I'm not going to say Justin Fields because now, well, Justin Fields played too well. Now he's going to cost too much to trade.
Yeah.
But like, if Russell Wilson decided to take a smaller contract,
Ooh.
ooh, I like that. I like that.
Kirk Cousins would take a little bit off to try to, get to a team that would at least go to the playoffs.
Yeah.
Ooh, ooh, I like both.
Well, the thing, we don't have like a bunch of money, so those two guys would definitely get more in the open market from other teams. But at least we offer like, hey, like plug a good quarterback in there, and this team's going to win, more games than they lose.
Yeah, yeah. I don't hate that. I like that. That's a lot better of an opinion than I have on the Packers' new DC, who was Mr. Jeff Hafley, head coach at Boston College. Not like kind of crazy. He goes from, I mean, he was D coordinator, co-D coordinator at Ohio State with Fickle, for 2019, and then was head coach at BC for the last 4 years. I will say their defense did get better each year. Not saying that their defense was great, but it did improve each year that he was there. He coached Zay Flowers and Isaiah McDuffie, who's on the Chiefs linebacker that's been playing pretty well recently. Other than that, I don't know shit. Better than Joe Barry. So that's you got a lot better take and outlook on Arthur Smith than I do on Halfley, but you know, at the end of the day, I think anything's better than Joe Barry, and I think we're good on the offensive front. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
I like it.
Like, I think it's just one of just, we don't know anything about him. I would just trust that like there's a good reason you went and got him.
Yep, exactly. I mean, I kind of like that. Usually, when the Packers go and get someone who's not, you
Get
know,
someone from the recycled pass around coaches list.
yep, yeah, and I like and trust LaFleur at this point where it's like, all right, let's just kind of see what they got going. So yeah, that's where I'm at.
The infidelity man's giving LaFleur a run for hottest head coaches.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I forget what his record is. It's something crazy in December though. He's lost like I think like one game.
What's up with that?
Crazy. It's crazy. So we'll see. We'll see. Obviously, we already talked about Packers last week, so we shall see. I got a little college hoops to talk about, just run through the weekend. A little bit of preview, but anything else anyone has coming up this weekend before that? I know Sean's I know we record on Thursdays. Golf is a little bit, I guess, like deflated from what you could get on a Tuesday, Wednesday. So I know there's not.
Yeah, I apologize, Max. I didn't get it over to you later to post on like the socials yesterday. But do you remember what my one bet I sent over to you was?
It was I took it. It was Gentry, right? Or however.
Dietrich,
Again,
Thomas Dietrich.
Yeah,
Gotcha,
Dietrich.
gotcha. Did you get a chance to look to see the tournament after day one?
I am not.
I'm
No.
just going to pull that up.
What a cocksucker.
I got it right.
Just let me know if he's inside the top 40 after day one.
I think he's why is random ad point? I believe he is at least top one.
All right. So just want to remember, we are early in the season. We'll try to get these out to you before. Now, listen, things could go terribly wrong. But our one pick from the pod this week was Thomas Dietrich, top 40. He's leading the tournament after Thursday. In fact, he was playing in the late session while we were potting right here. He had a chip in on hole 18 to take the solo lead. It was made sure to not have a big reaction. But no. All right. Let's just give a couple plays out here. Keep it real. Keep it within 60 seconds. Let's go because one of the things about signature events going ahead this year, class in session. So there's going to be, we'll let you know each week that's a signature event. This is a signature event. Next week, the Waste Management is not. It's going to act like a normal golf tournament, 150 guys cut after Friday. Week after is going to be the Genesis. That is a signature event again. These are 80-player fields, no cuts. So think a little bit differently. And I found, at least going into this week, I don't think the books.
Motherfucker.
Sorry. The books I don't think have caught on quite yet. You could do like top 40 bets. So essentially you just finish on the top half of the tournament there. I mean, that's what we did with Dietrich, a guy who I think would have, even in a normal event, would have finished within like the top third here. So I like our odds in these signature events with the no cut. Max, who is a player that we always like, we should bet him more because he's always around the top. There's a guy that you and I have talked about a good bit. Not American.
Is it Emiliano?
He is 100% Emiliano Grillo. He's in good form. He had a very good day today. You got to lay it a little bit, but at top 20 for Emiliano Grillo at -140, I like that a lot right now. If you're listening to this Friday morning before they probably tee off again at 11 a.m. Eastern on a Friday.
Say that one more again. Top 20, Grillo?
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Emiliano. Yeah, because he will. If he's sitting at 4 right now, he'll probably finish that.
If that's you're not that goes against your whole soul and ideology of laying a -140. I get that. I would say let's look down to Georgetown Prep's own Denny McCarthy at exactly +100 for top 20 in this event last year, which was not as good of a field as it was this year, but he was T6, so already is pretty comfortable with Pebble Beach. Had a great Thursday at 400, put himself at tied for 8th. So even money to finish top 20. I feel like that's just a good math bet right there.
Yeah, I like that a lot, my friend.
I like that. Yeah, it looks like the earliest tee time I'm seeing is 11:45 a.m. So even if you listen a little later, you got some time.
Yeah. If you want to go, I think this course definitely fits Collin Morikawa very well. It's going to be windy. His iron play can kind of work through that. He got, if you want to go a top 10 Collin Morikawa, I don't hate that at all. How about our boy Ludd?
Dude, yeah.
Ludwig, first time playing Pebble Beach, high up there on the leaderboard. Now, again, one day in, no cut. So there can be some crazy changes here, but love that from our guy.
I know. I wish you could parlay 2 top 20 guys, do a little.
I believe you can on FanDuel.
Dude, they locked me out recently. I don't know why the fuck they did that.
Shit, I can do it.
Yeah.
I can do Morikawa Ludwig for +109 for top 20.
Yeah.
Andy.
I love the plus sign. I love it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's all I got for here. I'll send out some picks before Thursday for the Waste Management next week.
Yep. I like that.
Yeah.
Max, any UFC this weekend? What do we got going on that slate, or is it light week?
Little light week. It's good old fight night, but people beat the shit out of each other. As I always say, it's a good time to watch. If you have ESPN Plus, you get to watch it for free, quote unquote. But you're paying for ESPN Plus. But if you already have it, might as well throw it on. There's really only 2 that caught my eye, and it's for a good little parlay, a little 2-legger. You got Meatball Molly McCann back fighting. Let us down the past few times. Obviously, bet on her. Back-to-back subs in the first round. One of them, Erin Blanchfield, who is a top fucking fighter now. She's an absolute maniac beast. We'll be fighting for the belt very soon. And the other, just another good jiu-jitsu girl. But they set Molly back a little bit. She's fighting Diana Belbita. I think she's got this. She can knock her out pretty quick. Not pretty quick, but I think she can knock them out. That's a minus 258 money line. And then the main event is Imavov, and I just had it up. Dola D's. So
Yola D's nuts.
um, give me Imavov at minus 170. That gets you a good old plus 120. Just a little two-legger. Keep it simple. Keep it straight. You know, I got a little fucked over in 297. I think I already talked about that. Might have not wanted to bring it up, but 297 was very rough for me. But so just keep it simple, keep it straight.
I dig it. I dig it. I dig it. Lots of good plays this weekend. Um, College basketball is kind of a shit show right now. I don't know if you guys been paying attention. I was looking at like the last week. I don't know if I mentioned it on the pod, but I texted some people about Michigan State +3 last week against Wisconsin. I lost that by like 12 points. Michigan State lost by 15. Aside from that, I've been absolutely abysmal. So you might as well fade whatever I'm saying. But looking at just games that have been happening this past weekend, I did say TCU Baylor last week, went to triple OT. So thank you to the over there. Very well cleared that. Iowa State beat Kansas last week. Texas Tech beat Oklahoma. BYU beat the shit out of Texas. And then this week, leading up to today, South Carolina beat number 5 Tennessee. Georgia Tech
They're
beat,
kind of good.
dude, they're great. They're 18-3. So I got a pick for that here. Georgia Tech beat number 3 UNC. Florida beat number 10 Kentucky. And then even just throwing in kind of the lower, like bottom of the 25, New Mexico lost to Boise State. TCU lost to or TCU beat Texas Tech, who was 15. So that all being said, got a lot of good games this weekend. I'll just kind of top off Virginia schools real quick. I don't know who Tech plays, I'm sorry, but U of R at VCU. So we got the Richmond big rivalry.
Richmond's nice.
Yeah, Richmond's nice. VCU's solid as well. It's at the Siegel Center at 4. Tickets are sold out. I already checked. The prices are not what I would want to pay to go to the Siegel Center. I was there for Memphis. That was cool. I got to see Penny Hardaway. But that game, and then you also got the JMU Dukes playing ODU. A bit of a rivalry, but ODU stinks this year. So I'll just get that out of the way. But
How's
starting
Jamie do?
in 3, they're solid. They've lost to App State twice, so that's not good. But they lost.
You lose to them in basketball and football?
Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah, they've swept us this year when it comes to basketball and football and on the men's side. So, yeah. But noon, talking about Grayson's Gamecocks over here, USC at Georgia. I imagine USC will be favored, but maybe slightly. I'm taking USC, whatever that is. I think I'm all about the Gamecocks right now. And then UConn at St. John's. Give me UConn. Um, just whatever it is, dude. They're covering like a motherfucker right now. So I got those for the noon games. Princeton will cover at Yale on Friday night. So I don't know if that's worth anything to anyone, but Princeton's balling. They got a couple good dudes on there, couple dogs. So give me Princeton at Yale for a little Friday night bet. Um, there's so many games. Does anyone have any questions or anything they want to cover? Because I will just
I have been betting on the Horny Frogs a lot, TCU, especially on Saturdays, and it's been working. And they play Texas this
have that
weekend.
one. Yep, yep. I totally agree with that. I like an over as well, as long as it's not too high. What is too high? I don't know, like 170. Like that's too high, but
That
that's a lot of points. That
was a
one,
good game last Saturday.
yeah, fucking lost on that bet too, though. But that's okay.
Is what it is. Yeah, no, I don't know. No, West Virginia kind of is killing me. I don't know what to think. They beat Kansas and then just get pooped on by fucking UCF. UCF's actually a solid team though. They're not too shabby. Um, it I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I haven't been paying a whole lot of attention, but I completely agree there. They got time. They'll turn around. Um, Other games kind of going on. Houston at Kansas. That's at 4 o'clock. That'll be a really fucking good game. Houston getting that real good taste of Big 12 being at Allen Fieldhouse. Looking forward to that game. Will be somewhere watching that game.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. I love that they're in the Big 12 now.
Yeah, dude, the Big
Such a basketball field.
That was one thing I wrote in my notes. Like the Big 12 is sneaky, so nasty because you got Houston. BYU is rolling. I keep forgetting BYU's in the Big 12. UCF is like just they don't play well unless they're a top 10 team that they're playing against, then they play well.
They
The
got
Big,
Oklahoma this weekend.
yeah, Oklahoma. I mean, dude, you got there's one other new team I think that is slipping my mind, but um yeah, I like that Houston. If Houston is anything in the pluses, I'm probably taking it, dude. I don't know. I just can't. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'd probably take Kansas like money line if it's under minus 200. I probably wouldn't take them more than like 3.5, I
Yeah.
guess. So we'll see what the lines come out at, but probably. Ooh, that's a tough one on the over under too, because you got a mix of offense, defensive pace. Houston likes the low scoring games, and Kansas likes the high scoring games.
Yeah.
And
Hey,
then,
that's
so,
crazy.
so I'll just backtrack real quick, take a half step back to go forward. So noon, you got your USC at Georgia. That's gonna be a great game. Then you got Texas and TCU. You also have Utah State and San Diego State. So you want a little second screen action, maybe throw in a third if you're talking Pebble Beach and all that. Then you ease into the 4 o'clock with the U of R VCU, Houston, Kansas. And then we're gonna get down to the 6 o'clock because we just covered those. Duke at UNC. Come on, don't get any better than that. You
Yeah.
like that at 7 versus 3. That's gonna be one of the better Duke UNC games you're gonna get in the last 5 to 10 years.
Yeah. Well, then, yeah, even after that, you got Iowa State, Baylor, Tennessee, and Kentucky.
hmm I know, I know. Sean, you got any Rocky Top or fam got you on the Kentucky Wildcat side? Well, you're
I'm just
20.
gonna, yeah. I mean, continue to bet Kentucky every single Saturday. That is kind of one of my guidelines that I live by. But betting TCU on Saturdays has become a thing this year, a very profitable thing this year. So I will
Does that
continue
have to do with Jamie Dixon?
a little bit, but they're good. Yeah. I like seeing Jamie
They are
Dixon.
good. No,
They
they
have a good
are.
squad.
No, they are a good squad. They're fun to watch.
Yeah, Emmanuel Miller's solid. I keep forgetting that Max Adams went to Texas.
Yeah, right.
Oh yeah, the accused of the Mac school guy.
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
Oral Roberts.
That's right.
Oh,
Definitely. Sorry, not a Mac school, even less than.
hey, and don't forget your 10:30 St. Mary's at Gonzaga, dude. You can't end your college basketball night without the mid majors, boy.
Don't
Yeah.
forget.
Can't forget.
What's up with Zaga this year?
They're just not as good. They don't have it. They lost a lot of guys. I feel like they lost like literally their whole fucking team.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But that's all I got for college hoops. We'll get more into that. But I mean, it's kind of a crapshoot. So, like, if you're, here's what I'll say. If you in your gut, when you're sitting there looking at DraftKings, FanDuel, whatever you're looking at, if in your gut you think the dog could win, just throw it on the money line, bro, because these guys have been making upsets like weekly. Like there's been like 1 to 3 teams that go down that are in the top 10 every week right now. It's a crapshoot. If you feel it, just go for it. It's that kind of time of the year. You figure it out in March, but right now, go with what Sean and Max said for UFC Pebble. A little bit of sprinkies on some of the college hoops, and then let's have ourselves a weekend, and then we'll get back and get fucking after it for the Super Bowl. So that's for
Yeah.
next.
And we will. We'll come strong with many of bets. I have one party, just nothing that we've talked before. Sunday 11, Arsenal Liverpool in the first matchup. I think Arsenal found the most success kind of attacking on the left side, on the wing there, not through the middle. That favored Martinelli. He did actually score in that game too. That was at Anfield. Now it's back at the Emirates. Martinelli to score the first goal score is plus 700. I think that's a little too high. It's high for a reason. It's necessarily unlikely, but could be some generational wealth there.
Like that. Love.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, I'll just piggyback on the little Premier League talk. I'm sorry I didn't send it to you guys yesterday, but Ivan Tony goal, he's back. First game back against Nottingham scores. It was like plus 100. Against Tottenham, it was plus 185. So we got Man City next on Monday. I don't give a shit, dude. He's still scoring. It could be anyone. This man is gonna score. So just keep an eye out for that come Monday.
Plus 225 anytime goal scorer for Ivan Tony.
Woo! Come on. Give me that, dude. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Way better than Erling Haaland's minus 140.
Yeah.
Yep.
He
Yep.
doesn't score. It'll be
Villa's got Sheffield this week, so I don't know. We play shitty against shitty teams, so I'd say, yeah, don't even touch Villa. So
we really can't afford to lose here.
yeah, Villa is just pooping away a Champions League opportunity, but that's for another day.
Got to go to the Championship League, bruh.
No, not to yeah, not us. None of our teams are getting close to the championship. No way.
15.
You guys are 15?
Yeah, dude.
What? When did that happen? I thought y'all were like 8 or 9.
We played Nottingham. Nottingham was 16 and we were 16. Nottingham was 15. And then we beat Nottingham, went up to like 14, and then lost to Tottenham. Now we're at 15.
Well, I thought y'all would be fine. I mean, you got 10 ties, so that's your fucking fault.
We also have 10 injuries and a guy gambles.
Oh yeah, well, we got injuries and shit too, but yeah, you know, 10 ties,
Cuomo, Enrico, and Tony. Those are our 3 best players.
10 ties, Matt, that's 30 points. Add 30 points to where you are. Where would you be? Probably in first.
Yeah.
It's a lot of ties.
That's Brentford. Dude, we had like 15 ties last year. That's what we do when we were 9. We beat man. All right, not forget it. Whatever. Yeah.
It's so many
Man
ties.
City didn't beat us last year. We fucking dominated Man City last year. So how about them apples?
About them apples. That's fair. Can't argue that. That's okay. Dude, Tottenham kind of squeaked by you. It was kind of a bullshit game, but that's
That
okay.
goal was so fucking whack.
Yeah,
But
it's funny.
move on. I got as long as I have my boy Tommy Frank, am chilling.
Yep. Agreed. All right, fellas. Well, hey, let's have ourselves a good weekend. Let's cash some bets. Got my papers. They're all folded up now already because I'm a spaz. But other than that, let's have a good weekend. Be safe, and thanks everyone for listening.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
You come on, you Gooners.
Yeah.